Hey, sports fans! Welcome back to yet another edition of Sports, of Course, with Jonah and RPF. Today on the show, it is December and the NFL is heating up. Which teams are going from contenders to pretenders? And U.S. Soccer lost, but they left us with a good note. I am your host, Jonah. With me, as always, is RPF. You can find us anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Podbean, all the great ones. We're also found on Instagram and Twitter, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel, Sports, of Course, with Jonah and RPF. Just go search the title, and we will come right up. RPF, my friend, I had an abysmal weekend of NFL football. As you know, my Patriots are awful.
Hold my beer.
But let's take a step back just for a second. How's life? How's your weekend? How's everything going?
The only thing that salvaged the entire kind of like every tight result went against my wishes was actually karma, in a sense that as we've been following Tulane, my alma mater, Tulane Green Wave, are now officially the athletic conference champions for the first time ever. And basically we're headed to the Cotton Bowl.
That's awesome.
On January 2nd, playing USC in Dallas. So
amazing.
Like you did mention something about possibly doing a Sports, of Course, from Dallas. So let's explore that possibility. But anyway, it's a huge thing. From a 2-win season last year to 11, maybe 12 coming up. It is a remarkable turnaround, and I'm so proud of my team, of my alma mater, and Tulane, and that celebration at Tulane Stadium on campus when we actually won the division title for the conference title game was one of those moments that you don't forget as a long suffering Tulane University fan. So anyway,
sure, and I think I saw I watched most of that game. RPF has got me going for the Green Wave.
Ty J. Spears, number 22, the best running back.
But I was watching the game and I thought I saw a little infographic come across the screen that I think this is the biggest turnaround in college
ever.
8 games
ever.
I think the previous was 7.
11. 10 was tied. 11 is the biggest, and it could be 12. Which could be,
wow.
We could win we could win that margin by 2 games, which would be
that's awesome. Well, me personally, my weekend kicked off with Thursday night football, Patriots Bills. Listen, did I think we were going to win? No. Did I think we could win? Yeah. Did I think we were going to win? No. Did I think we were going to suck? No. So Thursday Thursday I said, I'm done with you. So we took the weekend, we went out and we got a tree. The house is decorated. We are ready for the holidays. I
should have done that.
It was like Sunday. My mind erase. It was like, all right,
I should have decorated my entire house on Sunday at 4.
It was a wild weekend. We'll get into that in a second. But we are going to start, just like we did last week, we are going to start with the World Cup and U.S. Soccer. We lost. We're done. But, I think our team left us with some really great notes, to take away. And I for the first time, at least in my life of watching soccer, like they were like, they were done. And I was like, no. I was like,
but we were like, I think the U.S. team this year, by the way, tremendous, kind of almost, you can argue, overachieving in some ways.
I think a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. And we had a tough draw. The Netherlands, as is widely known, is the best country, the best team never to win a World Cup, and they're due any minute. In fact, they have a tough schedule again because they're facing first Argentina and then Brazil before the final, so that's a tall order for anybody. But the Netherlands have always been a powerhouse team, but I think that the young team, my takeaway from the U.S. team are twofold. Mostly optimistic, a 70-30 optimism thing when it's the offense and the youth and the exuberance and the kind of like the can only get better from here type of mode, and they have the right personnel, they have everything. The difference is I think they pulled off a little bit like the Baltimore Ravens in the sense that they were all offense, no defense, and it was a bit it was bad. The 3 goals that the Netherlands scored against us were just bad. I mean, they were avoidable. I mean, any team in Major League Soccer in Toledo could defend those, and that was interesting to me. That's fixable to me. That's not endemic, meaning the right personnel, a shift in personnel, finding that those defense players in the back line, that would fix the issue. And our goaltender was defenseless. He didn't miss a ball. He just got,
you're right. I mean, those three. The
and
goal
that,
had
and the
nothing to do with those
backbreaker
goals.
goal, of course, was like right before half. That second goal from the Netherlands was really the backbreaker for the team. But having said all that, before the World Cup started, if they told me we get out of group and lose to the Dutch, that's a respectable showing. Heading into the 4-year pregame for the next World Cup, I think you're right. I think we're very well situated for a top 10 country ranking and able to go far with the home team behind us, with the home fans behind us. So I think we did overall. I would give us a solid B with an arrow going up.
I agree. Maybe even a B plus. I'm going to take it one step further. If you had told me that we'd get out of, we get out of the pool play and lose to the Dutch, but within that pool play, we'd get out of pool play with a draw to England. That gives me a little, a little extra. The one thing I think, kind of poke at and disagree just a little bit with is I'm not necessarily convinced that it was a defensive problem. Hear me out here. More so than it was just a youth problem. I don't think our defense is bad. I think they just had lapses of mental judgment. Let me be clear.
It wasn't defense. I don't want to point him out, but there's one defensive player that's just out of his depths. And he caused 3 of the 3 goals. And it was not subtle. I went back and I looked at all the analyses from all the other, and they were saying, it's kind of his fault. It's pilot error. And
so okay,
my point is, it wasn't the engine in the airplane.
Fine. But what I'm saying is that no matter who it was, let's take the third goal for example. No matter who it was, that third goal, the guy was in the back, just wide open. And to me, that's not a skill problem. That's just up here. And that's just in the moment of the game, just forgetting what you're supposed to be doing. That to me, that's a mental issue. And
that third goal could have been our second goal, right? It would have been it would have been a whole different thing. So anyway, I think it's look, I think we're I think the fact that we're analyzing at this level is good. The fact that we got that far.
So in my personal opinion, what I thought we needed was an actual. See, I'm different. I thought we need an actual striker, like a goal scorer. I got so frustrated so many times.
So many chances,
of us coming down and coming onto the attack, and then it's
backwards. I think that's youth. That's not skill.
We'd come into the zone. We'd come into the zone, and then it would be pass.
What do I do?
Yeah, and it's we need that well,
that's confidence. That's not a striker. That's confidence.
We need that borderline egotistical guy that's just I'll shoot it. Give it to me. I'll shoot it.
We need Kobe.
For sure, right? Yes, we need the soccer version of Kobe. That's just give it to me. I'll shoot it. I'll score. Obviously, I wanted to say hey, we need Messi, but what team doesn't? But we need someone like that. We need someone that when you get into the zone,
of course. I think even the teams again, to a little bit disagreeing with you, I think we're saying the same thing for different parts of the game. I think that's the youth aspect of it. Yeah. That's the kind of I don't want to be the one who blows it. So I think once the confidence of playing all these friendlies all over the world coming up, they're gonna be okay, I got this. I'll shoot it. But why not me? Let's go. And I think that's gonna take care of itself. I think the skill set is there for creating these opportunities against the world's best teams already. So now just pull the trigger and let's score some goals, because we lost. Every match we lost was winnable, which is not. We didn't lose 8-2 anywhere. So that was kind of so.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right. I think the bottom line is what we're saying is I think we're in pretty good shape. To keep trending up and attack.
Put it this way, I'll take this team. I mean, these. I think the U.S. team will be top 6 of the favorites going into the next World Cup, and I think that's
here's what they've done though. Here's what they've done. They've gone around and messed up, and now the expectations for the next World Cup are to win that first game. Yeah, no, I know. I say that facetiously. Of course,
I'm saying
expectations are great.
I want the pressure.
Yeah, of course,
especially when you're the host country. So
And so, I just a little note of kind of where it goes from here for anyone who's kind of like, on the fence of getting into soccer. It ended, and I was watching with my daughter, and she was the game ended, and I was like really upset. And she's like, "Well, it's okay. Like we play again tomorrow." And I was like, "Well, no, we don't. It's over."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I was explaining how it's only every 4
It's like
years.
for her, 4 years is half her life. So it's like 4 years.
Right. I was like, it's only every 4 years. That's why this has been so like, we've taken the time to like when these games are on, like we put stuff aside because it is every 4 years. It's like the Olympics. And so I want her to understand the
Yeah.
gravity of these situations. And so she kind of started getting bummed. And I was like, well, it's okay. I said the women are up next, and I said it's like the Olympics. It's every 2 years. So I looked it up. It's not.
Next year.
It's
Next year.
this coming summer. It's less than a year away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 9 months away. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
And the women are fun to watch too.
Yeah,
That's
and
yeah.
and I told my daughter, I said, you think we had fun watching this? I said the women are number
We
one.
good.
Yeah,
We
the
good.
women are number one. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Canada, U.S. Canada. It's always like it's even like men's hockey, U.S. Canada,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
women's soccer. Yeah,
That'll be
it's good.
awesome. That'll be awesome. So, the U.S. is out.
A couple notes though
Sure,
for
yeah.
the World Cup. First of all, we'll talk about this, but Brazil is unreal. I mean, Brazil
Well,
is
are
peaking
they,
at the right
are
time.
they
They're
ever
just
not?
ridiculous.
I don't even know soccer, and I'm just like, oh, Brazil.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like the Yankees, but
Yeah.
Brazil. They've had their World Cups that they were because their reputation carried them further than their talent. That particular moment.
Okay.
This is not that. This
Right.
is Brazil.
It's kind of
like
like trying to play golf with Tiger. Like
Yeah, Tiger
just playing
at
with him
yeah.
makes you worse.
Tiger, Jack, and Arnold Palmer at their height, kind of thing, And then there's like Gary Player and Johnny Miller going, "Me too," That's really specific golf references in case people want to go. And Ballesteros like a little toddler still learning the game. Anyway, but so Brazil looks unreal. But I will say this: Brazil plays Croatia, winnable, easily. I think they'll win that for sure. Netherlands, the Dutch, who just beat the U.S. team against Argentina and Lionel Messi. And Lionel Messi, just a little side note, makes Argentina, because this is probably Messi's last World Cup, maybe, probably, and so makes Argentina the sentimental favorite for all of Latin America,
sure.
except for Brazil, of course. They're still in it. So that's going to be interesting to watch. The Netherlands and Argentina should be fun. And then you have, on the other side of the aisle, England, France.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more great than that? That's going to be, for all the stakes there for the quarterfinals. And then if things go how they should today,
right,
Spain plays Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. And Spain and Portugal have been rivals forever. So if the semifinals could be on one side of the aisle, Spain, Portugal, England, France, what? All of Europe going at it. And then you have on the other side.
But yeah.
No, I'm saying no, but no. Right. Sorry, I said semifinal in the quarterfinals, right? But then the winner of England France plays the winner of Spain Portugal.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all European there. Then on the other side, you have probably Brazil and probably Argentina. So it could be all Latin America on one side, all European on the other. Traditional World Cup stuff. It's great. It's really. I mean, if you want to watch, this is the time to watch right now. The quarterfinals are coming up, and these are the big boys.
It's about to get bonkers. We have that one quarterfinal left.
No, the 16th.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Spain and Portugal are the favorites on both.
Right. We're deciding that's today, and then they take a little break, and then the quarterfinals start on Friday.
Correct. Fun weekend of soccer.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, all good stuff. It's going to be very exciting soccer. Let's move on.
USA.
Let's move on to USA football. Let's get back to the NFL. Let's get back to our wheelhouse. Let's go into a little recap. Let's go over
6 games I think are worthy of mentioning, and I think those are my opinion.
And Thursdays is not one of them.
No.
Good. Moving on.
I mean, I was missing Russell Wilson after a while. I was like, because we're joking about how awful his games have been.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, thank God the Patriots are playing the Bills. That's a good game. And
man.
Yeah.
I will say this very quickly about the Patriots, and then I honestly don't want to talk about them. Thursday night, if you listen to the show, I've been very critical of Mac Jones, and it's still warranted in my opinion. Thursday night was the first time I'm looking at Bill Belichick and Patricia and going, huh?
That's what I've been telling you.
Yeah, and
I
like
think it's been a
I shouldn't say the
fellowship issue.
first
No.
time, but it was the like it became like really
Glaringly obvious.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
and it's just like like it was just nauseating and frustrating as a fan to watch. Like I shut it off. I woke up the next morning and my daughter, who knows that I watch like every single game from kickoff to end, was like, "Oh, who won?" And I was like, "I don't know." Well, I said the Bills, and she said, "Well, what was the score?" And I said, "I don't know. I have no idea. I know right now. I just learned the score.
Your daughter, by the way,
right now.
it sounds like she's being set up for the Jonah Bayless School of Psychiatry, because she's going to be needing some professional help if she's going to follow your sports lead in all your machinations, because she needs to. I want her to develop as a ballet star or as a scientist or something. And now she's like on the sofa eating Cheetos, watching the Patriots. I'm very concerned. Okay.
No, well, she doesn't watch. But she is intrigued. She is intrigued.
She's a very smart girl. So anyway, yeah. So I think the Patriots. I think they just felt like they were not. Mac Jones was not given. Look, Mac Jones is limited in his talent. He needs to be completely like a Tua. He needs to give people. He needs to be in a system that makes him shine in his wheelhouse. They didn't provide those plays for him. It didn't seem like it. So I was concerned, highly concerned for you.
But let me ask you this: then you say
series.
To shine in his wheelhouse. What's his wheelhouse?
I think the 8 to 12 yard pass. I think he needs to kind of roll out to the right more. I think he needs to kind of just get on them. He can't sit there. He looks like a pocket passer. He looks like he's Joe Montana.
He can't roll out.
He doesn't roll out. Like just like move a step to the right. He's literally like frozen at times, and it's just like I could see the defensive lineman laughing on his way to sack him. He's like, oh, he's standing there again,
pointing.
So, it's like,
as he's running at him, he's like, ha ha.
Yeah. I mean, I sympathize. I'd be like pretty frozen too, but I just think he looks like he should be better than he is. That's the frustration. He looks like
Agreed.
he looks
like
a quarterback.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, he looks like a quarterback. Yeah, and
I'll give you that. But I'll give you that. Yeah. But to my point, it doesn't mean that he's better than that.
No,
this might be it. Like this might be it. Anyway,
I think exactly. I'm done. You guys have to look for
no Patriots. No Patriots. I'm done. I'm cutting us off. Go ahead. Next game.
Saying, Teddy Bridgewater's available for the Dolphins. I'm just wanting to say you can snap them up. Bargain basement sale, 2 for 1.
Moving
on. Right, let's get to the Eagles over the Titans. Wow, that was like slap your mama. If you had told me the score without telling me who won, I would have said the Titans were on the winning end of that score line, and it was not. So yeah, the Eagles have redeemed themselves to me as legit.
Yes, they did a pretty thorough steamrolling. That's that was
not more
impressive.
so than the Cowboys Colts.
That was pretty impressive. You say Cowboys Colts? Well, yeah. Yes, impressive. Like 54 points is impressive against anybody. But I was gonna say, the Eagles beating the Titans is more impressive than the Cowboys beating the Colts.
Yeah, but like you said, any team in the NFL has scored 54, that many points. The Cowboys are humming, right at the right time.
You put up 54,
and
that's a lot.
And the Titans are, the Eagles are. They had a lull for a minute, and now they're like, very impressive as well. I mean, we'll come back to the teams that are ascending versus the others that took a step back, but in a minute. But I think the Eagles and Cowboys are like, wow.
I'm just checking right now because I watched basically like the first half of that game, and then I was like, what? I was
the Cowboys?
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, wasn't that close? And then I just looked at the score right now, and I said 54, 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
What?
It was like let's put they're almost dead. Why don't we just obliterate them?
Obliterate
and plus the Colts, and the head coach from the Colts, which I use the term loosely. He literally didn't know what he was doing as far as clock management. That's why he became the floodgates opened up, and he just literally, I forgot what he did, but it was something so like it was so crazy that people were just like it faked out the camera crew, the refs, everybody was like, what? I was like, you sure? Anyway, the point is, the game was over the minute that happened, and then 24 more points happening within a minute. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys are deeply impressive. So
yeah. All right. What other games you got on here for the recap?
The Raiders over the Chargers. I thought that was very interesting.
Yep.
that the Raiders are still kind of like, look, they have the personnel, they have the talent,
Of course.
whether they put it together or not. I mean, so that's interesting to me. They've been making, this is, I think, their second straight win.
Okay, so 5-7.
Yeah. I mean, how are they 5-7? Don't they feel like they're like 3-9 or something? But yet somehow they're 5-7. Which, by the way, 5-7 would put them in contention with any NFC division except for the East. But so I don't know. The Raiders. I wouldn't want to play the Raiders right this minute as they're ascending. So I think that's interesting to me.
Yep.
We of course have to talk about the Vikings over the Jets again. I think Kirk Cousins is back to dancing shirtless on planes because he was really good against the Jets. The Jets kind of came back to earth with a thud.
Although the Jets had a chance to win it there at the end.
The quarterback's giving them a chance, which is interesting, which makes all the discussion about quarterbacks. This is a quarterback league because with Zach Wilson wouldn't get him that far to that point. So I think the Jets are interesting. That's why I think I'm interested in the Jets at Bills, which is my second most intriguing game of the week, or third most intriguing game
coming up.
But the last game I want to talk about, or the two games we need to talk about a little deeper, is last night's game, this is Tuesday. So the Bucs surprising Tom Brady became Tom Brady again over the Saints.
Yep.
And more surprising because the Saints shut them out, which was the first shutout of Tom Brady's career, I think, last year. And with largely the same defense, with one less star player that was hurt for the Saints. But 16-3 with 3 minutes plus left, the Bucs are down. And I'm thinking, God, Brady, just retire. Jesus, this is mortifying. I mean, this is like you should be like playing dominoes in the park with your buddies or something. I mean, what are you doing? This is like you should be on a yacht, like remembering when I did that with Edelman and Gronk. Just go and do that. Be like what? Like do more movies, like 80 for Brady. That's fun.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he went. I went, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And then I forgot the Saints' offense are so awful. And then, of course, they got the ball back. Bad. I'm thinking, could he pull another Brady? And here's the irony of this, by the way. Tom Brady's only come back in as many comebacks as he's done, which is like, I think in the low hundreds at this point games. He's only come back for 13 or more points once before. This was 13 points. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I thought it'd be a lot more than that. It was only once, and he did, and then he pulled this off with 3 seconds left.
Only once?
He threw a touchdown pass. And here's the punchline. He threw a touchdown pass not in the end zone. He threw it at the 2.5-yard line, and the guy rumbled into the end zone. Thank God for that.
Rashad White.
That would have been...
Keep an eye out on him.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, that was very interesting. And it annoyed me because annoyed me in the sense that I had to be up late to watch the game. And then secondly... but the fact that Brady's back a little bit makes this year not a total waste. If Aaron Rodgers is gone emotionally and mentally and everything else, and then but if Brady still has flickering the light that's flickering somewhere, so he could still be a Brady.
Here's my question.
That's fun to watch.
By the way, here's my question.
They're in first place, and they're like 500 or something. They're like.
Yes, they are. Actually, with that win, they're in first place with a little bit of a cushion, which is gross.
I want to be in that division.
I think they're 6-6, right? I think now. They are 6-6 in first place with a cushion. But here's my question. So with that comeback win, what did that do for you? And does that make you more of a believer in the Bucs and Brady? Or?
No, I think it makes me a believer in,
because to me it's just kind of like
Tom Brady still has moments. Look, every champion has an ego, of course. And I think Brady just said, okay, let me step up here and let's figure this out. Because I think the fact that these Bucs are going to be in the playoffs, that's one more game on Fox during the wild card weekend that no team really wants to play Tom Brady in a playoff game. I don't care who you are.
Right.
So the fact that they're going to probably be hosting a game against someone like the Eagles, or not Eagles, the Cowboys, or someone, right, or the Seahawks or something, or the Niners. That's going to be really interesting to watch, right? So I think anytime you have Tom Brady at home in a playoff game,
Yeah.
That's popcorn stuff. So I think I'm glad he's back in a sense that makes it more interesting. I'd rather have him than
100%.
Minnesota at at Chicago or something. That would have been
100%.
So anyway,
I watched the highlights. I went to bed. I watched the first half and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. I'm going to bed.
yeah,
And then I got up and I was like, huh? And then I watched the highlights and I was just like, my first reaction was just like, he got lucky. Like, oh, they got lucky. Like, it's not going to happen again.
Did you see his press conference?
No.
He had won his first line. He walked up to the podium and everyone's like, just how we drew it up. It was like so stupid. I'm like, like Shecky Green, like you're Chris Rock there. It's really fun. Anyway,
I want him to be back. I want them relevant. I think it's more league is more entertaining when they're relevant.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced that this was like I don't think this should be celebrated.
It's the Saints.
I'm not saying that. Well, they've always played poorly against them.
And the Saints defense is really good.
This is like Bucs Saints is like Patriots Dolphins when Brady was there. Like, the Dolphins just always had our number for some reason.
Yeah.
Bucs Saints is very similar. So the fact that they beat the Saints it's not, you can't just shrug it off.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. No, listen, I think you're right. We're agreeing. The Bucs are kind of back, enough to be back, enough to be interesting for the league. And I think that's good for all of us, for all of the NFL.
Did you have another recap game? Because I have one on here that I want to ask. Yeah, that I want to ask you about.
The 49ers and Dolphins, perhaps?
Nope.
Oh, I had Eagles, Titans, Raiders, Vikings, Jets, Cowboys, Colts, Bucs, Saints, and the 49ers. What other one did you have?
I'm bringing this up because I'm interested to hear your take on what it means for the Ravens. But the Broncos-Ravens, 10-9.
Yeah, the Ravens are... They're well, that's the whole point. I think they're on the team. They're on the list of my teams that took a step back.
They're headed to the pretender section, is what you're saying.
Maybe. I mean, 10-9 over Russell Wilson's Broncos. What?
That's what I'm saying. And it was 9-3 until
at 4 minute left. The shocker for me was that the Ravens defense held up. Well, then again, this Russell Wilson's Broncos. So, but it is. Yeah, it was, and this coming on the heels of losing again to the Jags at the last, play of the game, basically. So yeah, the Ravens, I don't know, but again, that's one of those teams that no one wants to play in the playoffs for sure. But yeah, someone's going to probably. I mean, so can the and that's why I was so surprised that the Chargers lost to the Raiders, because the Chargers could have kind of taken over the Ravens slot in the playoff hunt. So it's all very intriguing. But yes, I think the Ravens are on the bubble, whether to salvage this season or just say, screw it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're becoming not that scary to me. Like they're just, this is
I still
even last weekend if I remember
Lamar
correctly.
Jackson. I mean, I still don't want to have to defend against that guy, because he's just
but he's
the best improviser in football. Yeah,
I think teams. Again, going back to last week, they lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah. Well, remember the Bills lost to the Jaguars last season.
And then they only beat the week before that. They only beat the Panthers 13-3.
Correct.
I mean, they're just not. They're just not scary.
They're not imposing themselves. Yeah, at all.
But like
again, but there's an argument to be made that they have time to kind of peak at the right time too. So.
But to your point, I don't see them like Tom Brady and the Bucs. I'm not scared of them in the playoffs right now. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I think
I'd rather play the Jets or the Patriots or the resurgent Browns with Deshaun, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, but let's talk about the Niners and Dolphins so I can get it out of my system.
Go ahead.
Okay. So as everyone must know, the 49ers and Dolphins game is the beginning of 4, as it turns out. Wait for it. 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. 3 nationally televised games. The Dolphins have had 3 nationally televised games in 5 years. So all of a sudden, in 3 consecutive weeks, we have 2 flexes. The NFL flexed their schedule for this Sunday night.
Okay.
Dolphins at LA for the Chargers. Tua and Herbert. Here we go.
Can I raise my hand? Can you take Monday night? Because the Patriots are Monday night, and I don't even want to watch it.
Who are the Patriots playing?
The Cardinals.
Well, at least you should win that one. I mean,
I don't even want to go there.
Okay.
I don't even want to get.
Okay. Don't steal my thunder. This is a very trying time for me right now.
All right, go ahead.
The Dolphins are playing the Chargers Sunday Night Football. which is national audience.
Yep.
Next week after that, we were flexed for Miami at Buffalo for a Saturday night special, 8:00
Fun.
on the NFL Network. So that's a flex. And then the third week after that is Christmas Day, national TV audience with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers playing at Miami. So that third game, that if we lose that game on Christmas, then it's the whole season. It's a moot discussion. But these three games, the one that we just played, and these two coming up against the Chargers in LA and against the Bills in Buffalo, are the make or break time for us. So that game with the 49ers, my God, I don't know if anyone saw it. It wasn't nationally televised, so unless you really are a fan, you wouldn't have seen the nuance, the back and forth there. I remember I texted you the first play of the game, Tua hits a dart to Sheffield, which was the wide receiver that we just got this season from the 49ers. Across the middle, he pulled a cheetah and just outran everybody down the sideline, 75-yard touchdown to the house, first play.
First play of the game, wad blown.
And done. I turned to Noah and I said, here we go. Here we go. Here we fucking go. And then we went. Okay. Then all of a sudden, their first drive, the Niners score a field goal. Then they come back. Then we're 3 and out, which Tua, by the way, uncharacteristically all season overthrew two open, to Tyreek Hill. Who's like 4'7" if he's standing up on phone books.
You said he overthrew?
He literally overthrew him twice.
How do you overthrow Tyreek Hill?
Well, because he's basically
5'6".
Yeah, he's like, what's his face? Kevin Hart, basically. He's tiny, but he's like, who's faster than Tyreek Hill? The point is, he hasn't been overthrowing anybody all season. Yeah. He's been the most accurate passer, as we know, throughout the season. And I'm thinking he's pressing. He's pressing because he's amped up, right? So I'm like, all right, chill out.
Yep.
And then what happens? The Niners going down the field and scored a touchdown. Now we're losing 10-7. I'm like, okay. 3 and out again. Drop pass from Waddle, overthrew Waddle. Again, overthrew Waddle. So okay. 3 and out. Then the Niners drive down the field and we sack him as we do with Chubb and Phillips, our two ends. Mm-hmm. Just pushed him out of bounds and sacked him. He doesn't come back. He's literally, and they score a field goal. He doesn't come back because he's come to find out he's out for the season. He broke his ankle. Garoppolo is out for the season.
I was like, wait, what? That's like, I missed this.
Garoppolo.
I was like, Tua's done.
No, Tua. I'd be wearing all black and I'd be like, I'd be in a nun's habit and stuff. And I'd be like,
I got you.
I'd be completely like in full on veil. It would have been a whole different situation if Tua was down. Anyway, then what happens? Then we can't get rhythm. We're down. All of a sudden, we're down 23, I don't know, 10 or 16 or so, 23-10 or something.
Okay.
So then what happens? Sure enough, there it is. 60-yard bomb to Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. In one play. Boom. We're back. 23-17 or something. We're down by 6 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I said, okay. That's what we do. We strike. Even when we had our worst game of the year, it's fun to watch. It's like it could happen at any minute. Boom. And by the way, Tyreek Hill was open by 7 yards and he hit him in stride. So he was like, no naysayers there. All right. So what happens? We get the ball. We hold them for the first time in a long time. Mind you, they're playing with, if Chris McCaffrey's playing out of his mind. He's literally the man cannot touch the ball again. Every time he touches the ball, it's 8 yards. It's like at least it's just annoying.
He's a beast.
All right. McCaffrey's annoying as F, by the way. Him and Gronk, to me, are the same school of like, stop touching the ball against the Dolphins. Anyway, and then that's why I made it so sweet when Gronk was the reason why we won the miracle play in Miami.
Right. I remember. I
remember. when you're probably celebrating with beer and all of a sudden, not so much. All right. And then, so moved forward to fourth down. First of all, in the same drive.
Hang on, going back.
on our own 18-yard line. Let me be clear. On our own 18-yard line, 4th down and 1, we go for it with 10 minutes left.
It's
interesting. I went like this. No. If this was any other coach, any other team, anything, I don't care how automatic it is, do not do this. And we've got it by, I don't know, 10 inches, by,
Yeah.
And I said, all right, okay, that was crazy. Never again, please. And it's because McDaniel's trying to outfox the teacher, right? So the coach for the Niners has been his mentor or whatever, Shanahan. So all of a sudden he's like trying to outfox Shanahan, and it's like, no, this is not about you.
Yeah.
Please. Anyway, fast forward, dunking, passing, catching balls, whatever, down to the 36-yard line, 6 minutes and 3 seconds left. The Dolphins have the ball. We thought we had the first down. He didn't. It was 4th and 2. All right. 4th and 2, 36-yard line. It makes it what? A 63-yard field goal. We have to go for it, right? 4th and 2. We have empty backfield. I think 72 wide receivers were on the field. Mike Gesicki, his number hasn't been called once. He's our star tight end.
Yep.
He hasn't been called once. All of a sudden, Tua rolls out to the left, and he throws him the ball on the sideline. He catches the ball 3 yards down the field, first down. Wait, the red flag comes out, and sure enough, the replay shows there's movement before he hit the ground. Therefore, incomplete pass. Here's the punchline: we were outplayed, outclassed. We were literally our worst game of the year on many fronts. We still not only had a chance, we would have won the game if he makes that catch. And that's what makes it, to me, acceptable to lose this game. When this is, and Tua was, by the way, sharp contrast to Zach Wilson. The first question, he's the first guy up on the podium after the game, and they said, "Do you feel responsible?" Absolutely, it is on me. This was on me because I did not hit the ball. We should have never come down to 4th and 2. It was, I missed all day. Anyway. That's how you take accountability for this in this sport. That's why the players in that locker room respect it. Therefore, I believe, in a weird way, losing at San Francisco with like the third string quarterback, with McCaffrey going crazy, is actually going to be the best thing that happened to us. We don't have the expectation game anymore. We don't have everyone buzzing that we're like unreal. We came back to earth, and now Tua's going to say, "Okay, guys, now we got to step up at the right time." At the Chargers, at the Bills, Packers on Christmas. That's why I think I'm hoping that this is the best thing that happened to us, that we're not just coasting on a 6-game winning streak without regard. Now we have to take accountability for our actions. So anyway, the Dolphins, to me, this is the make or break time right now. Chargers, Bills, Packers. And those are the games I'm looking at. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean...
but I have one more thing. But at the end, I'll tell you why I'm hopeful even more. And I'll tell you this at the end.
Okay.
I'll tease that till the end.
All right.
I can tell you now. I mean,
listen, as a Dolphins fan, I hope I hope you're right. Obviously you want this to be a wake up call. Was it a wake up call, or was it just they started running into some good teams here? Who knows?
No, well, yes, that both. But I think it's going to be. Well, I'm saying it's going to show. But I think what they did this week, just yesterday, they signed the former overall number 1 pick, Austin Jackson, a 9-year vet offensive tackle. We picked him up because our guy, sorry, not Austin Jackson. Austin Jackson was the one that we put in on injured reserve. Eric Fisher, we just picked up, and he's a 9-year vet, former number 1 overall pick, and he's like impeccable type of tackle, and we just went out and got him. So therefore, I'm hopeful that now the line could be stabilized on that side of the aisle. And then we have, and the fact that we were flexed, our schedule was flexed twice within a week. That never happens to us. So I think
that doesn't mean you're good, though.
It means that we have the most intriguing games coming up.
Sure.
Which we haven't,
Sure.
So anyway, that's going to be, so the next 2/3 weeks will reveal all. So we'll see what happens. And by the way, I just gave you my RPF right now as well. So just in case you're wondering. So I kind of smurged the categories.
All right, well, let's move on to the week ahead. What do you got? What do you got highlighted for this coming weekend?
I have the headline for me is that the Bills, Cowboys, Eagles, and Bengals are ascending.
Yep.
They're with a bullet. I mean, they're scary to watch right now. And then the Chiefs and Dolphins, Titans all took a step back, and Ravens all took a step back. And doesn't mean they can't come back to that ascending role. But the Chiefs, Titans, and Dolphins, arguably with the 3 hottest teams the week before. So all of a sudden we all took a step back. So
pretty big swing. I mean, honestly, I think the biggest swing of all of those teams, I think the biggest swing is the Bengals. They got Jamar Chase back, and it was like, yeah, guess what? Hey, guess what? We have Jamar Chase back.
Exactly. So it's almost like Jamar Chase is basically the Tua for the Dolphins. It makes a difference. It's a game changer.
And I gotta say, like the Bills, honestly, they beat us, but I wasn't like overly impressed or anything of how they beat us. I mean, they're obviously don't get me wrong. They're obviously the upper echelon of the AFC. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, we've been talking this episode. We've been talking a lot about like teams that scare you, and the Bills have slipped. They still scare me, but they have definitely slipped from.
I'd rather play the Bills than the Chiefs.
Even now. Man, that's a good debate right there.
Well, it depends where. Well, at Buffalo or at Kansas City,
they're pretty even, right? They're pretty even, so it comes down to where you're playing the game.
And when in January or whatever,
Yeah.
So look ahead: Jets at Bills.
I think
that's going to potentially intriguing. Potentially, Browns with Deshaun Watson at the Bengals. That's interesting to me.
Well,
Vikings at the Lions.
I don't know.
I'm calling that one the upset special. You heard it from me first. The RPF pick. I'm picking the Lions at home to beat the Vikings. And then, of course, we talked about the Dolphins at Chargers. So those are the 4 games.
The Lions are favored right now, so it wouldn't be an upset.
The Lions are favored in against Minnesota?
Yep.
Well, I'm putting my money back there. What? I bet on the Vikings.
That's like what? The face you made was the face when you realized like, oh, I thought like. Because I've done this before. Like, I thought I had this hot take.
I mean, like insider trading. What do you mean Apple is already knows about Apple? People know Apple stock is good.
Apple was at the moment they are 1.5 point favorites.
The Lions?
Which listen,
aren't they like 5-7?
They are. Yeah, they are.
And what are the Vikings, like 10-2 or something?
That's correct. So all stats are correct so far. To be fair, to have your back for a second, I did not expect that. I did not expect them to be favorites.
No.
Yeah.
First of all, I argue, has this been the first time in NFL history since betting was actually introduced that a 10-2 team is not favored to beat a 5-7 team? I'd like to know that stat.
Yeah.
Google that.
1.5 point favorites.
That's a little nutty.
That is a little nutty. Listen, I'm not that intrigued about the Browns Bengals. Deshaun Watson. I don't think he's gonna.
I'm saying get out the massage oil.
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson gets all amped up when you warm up the oil.
I mean, how do you not have the Cowboys Texans circle? That's gonna be a barn burner.
As in the barn will be burned before the first quarter's over.
I'm just looking real quick. Eagles Giants. For sure. Eagles Giants.
I mean, if the Giants bounce back and significant, this is the game to do it.
Yep.
If they have a chance to make something of their season, this is when they do it.
I mean, it's just a great NFC East, clashing. Anytime those NFC East teams go head to head, you kind of never know. You never know what's going to come out.
And how about that unbelievable tie that happened this week?
Did you say?
Someone win, please. Someone win this game, please.
Did you say Bucks 49ers? Was that on your list?
I did not.
Okay. So that would be a good. Only because we were talking earlier about the question of is Brady back or blah 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 blah. This will be a great.
The problem is that Brady has back-to-back facing these defenses that are imposing.
That's what I'm saying. This will be a great hey.
I think Bosa is going to have Brady.
Great 3-minute come from behind win. Amazing. Hats off to you. Go beat the 49ers, which isn't impossible, right? They just lost Garoppolo, like you mentioned.
Yeah, but they have Bosa chasing Brady down all over the field. So I don't know. I'll take the Niners all day.
By the way, interesting side note. How amazing is it that the 49ers backup quarterback that came in was Mr. Irrelevant? He was the last pick in the draft. I think that's so awesome. Like I just think that's
a good story.
I just think it's so cool. Like
fantastic. It's a great story. Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
The
fine.
Dolphins.
At
He
least
beat the
at
Dolphins. I
least
don't
I
need
have
to
a
hear about
heart.
this guy. Yeah, whatever. My sure his mom and grandmother are very proud. That's great. Okay.
Yeah, and then we got ball. Yeah, that's about it. And then Monday night is, I guess there's no NFL on Monday night. So, all right.
Yep. That is the Dolphins Chargers, I think, is the money ticket, which is Sunday Night Football. So that's going to be.
Yes, I was obviously being facetious. The Patriots are playing the Cardinals Monday night, but.
Yes, I got what you were selling there.
Okay. All right.
I think I hope for your sake that
and we're petering. All right.
Murray.
All right. Audible. You already teased / hit us with your RPF right now. Would you like to elaborate on it at all?
Dolphins to a good. Pray to the South Beach gods that things turn out well. I think. Can
that be our teaser for the week? Just like, hey, listen, if you're not tuning into our hard hitting headlines, this is one of them. Dolphins to a good.
As an editor-in-chief, I'm very proud of my articulation and eloquence in that regard. I mean, I kept thinking during this game, consciously thinking, why does it matter so much to me? I mean, I'm a pretty smart guy. I understand these are a bunch of games being played by adults to get paid millions of dollars, and yet it feels like so visceral to who I am as a person, and it's so logically annoying because I can't help it. I want to win so badly. Anyway, so that's so yes, I'm hoping that feeling comes back. The joyful part of that feeling comes back this week against it. Sunday night, it's going to be a long week for me and people in my life if we don't do well that game. So,
all right. Well, then let's get into this week on what I wish had happened. Would you care to go first or myself?
I have 3 bullets. Do you have one?
I got one, so I'll hit mine.
Sure.
And mine's, listen, it's you can. I just wish the U.S. Soccer had won. I know it's a tall order,
but I said that.
I know it's a tall order, and I know we kind of weren't supposed to, and to beat the Netherlands would be unbelievable. Here's why: it's just that there was I was sincerely enjoying this soccer match, and you know what? Here's a hot take for you. My Patriots, I'm so down on my Patriots and so up on U.S. Soccer. Maybe I'm switching footballs. Maybe I'm becoming a football fan.
Ball switch.
Hashtag ball switch. Maybe I'm becoming more of a football fan than a football fan. No,
I'll tell you this though.
The momentum.
And you're 100% right. We were 1 victory away from this becoming pandemonium.
Pandemonium.
Further, our next match would have been against Messi's Argentina, coalescing the Hispanics in this country. It would have been fever pitch stuff. It would have been fun to be part of that week. Yeah.
I just really wish they had. How about this? How about if I really wish they had at least gone to a draw into maybe penalty shots,
penalty kicks,
and really really pushed the Netherlands as hard as they could. The momentum from the soccer momentum was just building so high, and then just kind of came to a quick crash. That's it. That was mine.
I agree. Okay, so mine are 3 kind of bullet points. The first one is I wished the Boston Red Sox had signed Justin Verlander instead of the Mets for 2 years for $86 million, because the Boston Red Sox needed fucking Justin Verlander, and they have the money, and they have $500 million in the bank that are apparently collecting dust because there's nothing happening with anything. So I'm just beyond. Unless they're going to pull a rabbit and a rabbit and a rabbit. Did you
see DeGrom's contract?
Yes, I did see DeGrom's contract. Yes,
listen, hey,
how's Milwaukee Brewers? Are they ever going to compete ever again? I kept thinking these little teams, the Pirates. I don't know. I think they're going to be. So my second wish was I wish that Mike Gesicki, one of my favorite players on the Dolphins, would have caught a 4th and 2 with 6 minutes left to play, and we would have won the game. And honestly, I believe that to this day we would have won the game if we had just converted that play. And not deserving to win, but we would have found a way. Not unlike the Ravens game that we came back. And finally, I wish that the Miami Heat stay as healthy as they did this week, when for the first time all season, all projected starters played together for the first time and shocked the NBA with a comeback victory against the Celtics in Boston. And they were 20-4, and the Heat came back and beat them, and it was like so sweet to see the entire crowd at the Garden go, huh? When Jimmy Butler just put the dagger in the heart, a fadeaway shot with like in overtime. So it was, anyway, that's that game. If you were a Miami Heat fan and you've been despondent this season, that's the reason. And the added cherry on my Sunday was right after the game when Jimmy Butler is being interviewed as the star player of every game he had one word response to the question, with like a long question about what does this mean to the team and all this other stuff. But ultimately they asked, what does this mean? What's next for this team? And he said, the championship. And he walked away. So I like that swagger. I like that attitude. So I think this is going to be the game we point to as the turning point. Not only did we come back and win against the best team in basketball, but we did it with our starting five. So we were justified in not going out and getting big shiny objects that were available in the free agent market. Anyway, so those are my three things I had for you.
All right. And that, my friend, will conclude our show. Another show in the books. You heard it first right here.
And they said we wouldn't last.
They said we wouldn't last. Yes. You heard it first right here. I'm trading football for football, and RPF thinks Tua is good. That's all the time we have on the show today. You can listen to us anywhere. You can listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Podbean. We're also can be found on Instagram and Twitter, as well as our dedicated YouTube channel. Just search Sports, of course, with Jonah and RPF. RPF, my friend, it has been a pleasure. Looking forward to your Dolphins test against the Chargers.
And the World Cup this weekend.
And more World Cup, of course, yes. And more great matches coming up in that World Cup. I'm definitely going to keep watching, which is the first time in my personal history that I've continued watching outside of the U.S.
I'm exposing you to good things, to Tulane football, to tennis.
Yes,
and now
Tulane football. Yeah. So all you fans out there, maybe we'll start a GoFundMe page. We're going. We need to go to Dallas. We need to go.
Sports, of course, needs to be doing a remote from Dallas tailgate party January 2nd from Dallas.
I'll tell you what. If you can, fans or RPF challenge, if we can get Sports, of course, to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl, I will guarantee I will be the biggest Tulane Green Wave fan at that game.
We have to make sure this link of this podcast goes to New Orleans and to Tulane. So I'll post it on the Tulane
there we
alumni
go. Let's get them involved.
Facebook wall. I love it.
All right.
I love it.
That's all we got.
Make it a promo because I need this promo to be able to push this Tulane angle. See?
Got it. All right. We'll see you later.
That's insider baseball stuff. Okay, let's get out of here. Bye, Jonah.